G'day to you. Welcome into another edition of The Form. As always, the team is joining me. I'm in for Pip, and the rest of the team is joining us as always. Aidan and Bevan down country throughout the North Island, and Leith is coming to us live from Ellerslie this morning. So lucky to have the team with us as always. Here is what we have to look forward to on The Form. It's the agenda, of course. The Manawatu Challenge Stakes will kick us off shortly. Then the rest of the Trentham undercard, and it's a decent undercard as well. We have our race trackers for you. The Matamata Cup preview there on Friday, of course, and we'll try and steer you into a winner or two for your best bets as well. Trentham is our feature meeting coming for you this Saturday, and we can get you to you, Sweens. You'll be there on Saturday on course. What can we expect weather and track-wise?
Yeah, really looking forward to Saturday. Guy, very good morning to you. Look, there's about 800 different forecasts for the next 2 days for Upper Hutt. So I went to the man who should know, that's Jamie Phillips, who is track manager there. Texted him this morning. He came back. He thought it would be a soft 5. Now, I can tell you there won't be any cricket today in Wellington, just looking outside. But it's not heavy rain. It's that drizzly sort of stuff that hardly ever sort of measures up in the water measure. So hopefully we can start that soft 5, but there is some further showers forecast for the next 24, 36 hours. So hopefully soft 5, that'll be perfect, guys.
Alrighty, that sounds very good to me, Sweens. Well, one of our features on the card is the Group 2 Manawatu Challenge Stakes. It is the 6th on the card, and here is the market for that. Perfect scenario, the $5.50 favourite, and then 4 horses there at $6, Farraglione there at 10s, Sharp and Smart and Lightning Jack at 13s. And if we move our way down the page, we can see the rest of the field, Old Turn Road there at $35. Sweens, if we come to you and look first at perfect scenario.
Yeah, well, quality horse, and this is a great replay to be looking at. Puntura is actually really good in this race, but I think the first two were a margin too good. Ladies Man, superb. Like Creek didn't lose any of Morris. He's going well enough, this horse, and he probably hits the right sort of race to be very tough to beat. I think with Merituri Molly, Town Crier, Farraglione, Lux Libertas added to the race, it makes it really, really interesting. Whether he's at his peak, Leith, I'm not 100% sure, but he's still going well enough to be very competitive.
He's certainly been 7-year-old gelding. He hasn't run a bad race this season. I think this is probably his best season that he's actually had. Look, you look at this form over 1,400 metres where you think it's probably a little bit short for him, but he's actually had 9 starts for 4 wins at the distance. So, look, Opie Bossum gets on this week, weight for age. He likes the Trentham track. There's a little bit to like about him. And Pintura out of the race was a really good last start as well.
Yeah, I thought Puntura was actually really good and began well, so maybe that suggests that they can really put him in a position this time around. Craig Grills takes the ride this weekend, but perfect scenario is going well. And out of a Group 1 weight for age, placing into this Group 2, some chance. Further down from those horses who ran, Lightning Jack was maybe just a touch disappointed, but we know he's better than that. Town Crier, the same. And Bellardo Boy, maybe one who just does come into it. If that weather forecast changes from what Bevan was saying and we get a fair bit more rain, then that would really bring Bellardo Boy into the race. Have a look at Lux Libertas. The horse running just a terrific second placing. This was a race where a lot of the horses who were prominent in the finish came from a long way back. Lux Libertas was on speed, has only gone down narrowly by a horse who's gone on frank that form in that Group 1 TAB Classic. From what we've seen of this horse, the progression's been great. It's won 5 of 10, Leith. How are you rating her?
Look, I'd just about have her on top. If that rain does turn up and the track gets out past that soft 5, soft 6, definitely Lux Libertas can win. It is interesting. It's her first sort of overnight trip away to Trentham. Merituri Molly will actually run the fastest sections in the race to Le Creek. So, look, obviously we saw Le Creek come out and just go down in the TAB Classic mile. So I think this is probably the best form race going into the race.
Agree 100%. And I was super impressed with Merituri Molly, and it's a great sort of story around how horses improve over time, because she was a rogue early on and caused Matt Dixon a lot of headaches. Now she's doing everything absolutely perfectly. And look, she can either jump on speed, or you saw there, and go back and boom home. Lux Libertas has had a wonderful season. I think the fields across the whole board there at Trentham on Saturday are fantastic. I think there's 700,000 up for grabs there on Saturday. So there's some Really good fields. Town Crier, we forget about a little bit, but she probably needed the run at Trentham. What do we do with Sharp and Smart? This is a head scratcher for me. And the market has Sharp and Smart at $13. Now he's 3,200 metres on the 5th of November, back to 1,400 metres on Saturday. So we know he's class, Leith. But this would be something out of the box, really, to go 2 miles back to 1,400 metres with not a lot of time in between, a lot of travel, and to get up and win. It'd be an amazing training performance.
Well, he literally hasn't won since 2023 March, the New Zealand Derby. So, look, I was there at Te Rapa when he galloped, and I'm telling you, they've got him cherry ripe. He looks spot on, and I reckon he's a great each-way chance in the race.
Got to say the same. Geez, he would look good at Te Rapa, didn't he, Leith? And he galloped so smoothly. He looked great. He's a proven weight for age performer. Yeah, the 1,400 metres has got to be a concern. Maybe it's a little bit too sharp for him, but you just can't rule him out on quality. He's my favourite horse, so I'm just going to be respecting him all day long.
Well, we can catch up with Debbie Rogerson, the co-trainer of Sharp and Smart, and a few of the other connections. But Aidan started by asking Debbie Rogerson how Sharp and Smart has come back from Melbourne.
Yeah, look, he come back from Melbourne and he had sort of 3 weeks off here at the stables, out in his paddock in the day and back in his box at night, and he was getting way too above himself. So we started just light work, and we've light worked. He only had a few gallops going into this exhibition today, but Ryan's happy and the horse is going in the right direction.
You know, he's sort of proving now he's up to those weight for age sort of really good gallopers. Obviously, a lot of his form had been in the South Island against probably a touch weaker company, but he's almost in career best form as a 7-year-old, so he's really thriving.
You know, she's done really well. Her work has been encouraging. She continues to train on. She's been, you know, quite a revelation when you look at how long she's actually been up. So she's done a wonderful job.
Yeah, before we get to my selection, interested in why Ha falls if that rain does come as well, up to 1,400 metres. He's got the Australian form in to be right on. He was a bit disappointing at Otaki, but it did run 109 for the 1,200 metres, which I don't think is him. I am going to stick with the Central Districts. I thought Marituri Molly was outstanding. He's been brilliant this whole preparation. That first up effort and weight for age company behind La Creek was outstanding. I think the horse is flying, and with speed in it around Farrelleone, Town Crier, Connor O'Keefe and Puntura, more than likely to go forward. I think there's good tempo here. So I'll go with a little bit of an upset Marituri Molly at $6.
Look, I'm going to go Sharp and Smart. Obviously, he hasn't won since the Derby in March 2023, but look, I know he's coming back from the Melbourne Cup. He looked super the other day in his track gallop, and if Ryan can just be sort of 3 pegs back on a hot speed, look, he is credentially probably the best horse in the race, and $13 and $3.80. I'm happy to play him at that price.
I love that selection, Leith. As I said, I've got all sorts of respect for Sharp and Smart. Followed him around most of his racing career and just love to see him fly again this weekend. However, I'm going with Group 1 form. I think it's the right form coming into this Group 2. It's weight for age form. Perfect Scenario was good in his first run in the North Island for some time in that TAB Classic, and I think he'd be hard to beat this time, Guy, too.
Alrighty, well, there are the selections for the Manawatu Challenge Stakes. One of the features on the card at Trentham, which of course you can catch live here on Trackside 1 on Big Saturday from 11:30. Alrighty, staying at Trentham, we can turn our attentions to the rest of the Trentham undercard, starting with race 3, I think it is. Yes, it is. The Wakefield Challenge Stakes, just a 6-horse field. Matakopa Falls and Cool as a Wren, the Tiakau trained runners fighting out for favouritism. Miss Ziggy and Landlock, the other two at single figures. We can look at some form videos first up with you, Sweens, and Cool as a Wren.
Yeah, I thought this was a goodie fit. Miss Ziggy had some ability, and she sort of just sat on tempo and was cruising. Now, the big factor around the two Tiakau horses is that they've come down the chute as well. Of course, Landlock did do the 900 metres at Trentham as well, so they've had that experience. Miss Ziggy was brave. I'm finding it difficult to split the two, Leith. However, Maricopa Falls really impressed me. They sort of hit it at the trials, and then it delivered against a really nice horse and 2 sweet. But Coola's Renee is a good chance.
Yeah, she is, and I'm not too sure if Craig Grill's got the choice out of the 2 Tiakau runners as he won on both of them. There's certainly not much between them, like you said. They both had the experience of one racing at Trentham and the other racing down the chute. I thought Miss Ziki, she was really brave, and she's a brazen bow 2-year-old, and there's a little bit to like about her as well. The field has come up pretty weak, to be fair, a 6-horse field in a Group 2 race.
Yeah, it's good to see those that record and form coming forward to Trentham. Love the fact that Andrew Carson's having a crack with Miss Ziggy. She's certainly showing good enough ability, but Cool Azarine, unbeaten so far, and just has that little bit of X factor around her that she can extend when she's challenged and to go a little bit better. I think the stablemate may just have a little bit more on her though. She was so good winning at Trentham on TRB Classic Day. There was just something about this performance. We knew that Too Sweet's a horse with good ability, but just when she kicked in, and she'd done nothing at the trials leading into this, so she might be a race day horse, and she might be a race day horse with a little bit of quality.
Yeah, obviously she's had the trip to Trentham and back again. She's in the right stable. Look, she broke the clock as well. Sectionals out of the race were through the roof, and she's having her first start taking on the horse on the inside that had race day experience. So, look, there's certainly not much between the two Tiakau runners this Saturday.
The biggest thing about this horse was when it went into the birdcage, it never turned a hair. It never turned a hair. If you looked at the trial where it was 6 of 6, it was actually held up and behind them, full of running. So I thought the job was on this day, but it had to beat a nice horse. It sat right outside speed. It was still a little bit green, but I think it coped with everything perfectly, and it's the sort of filly I think will really go on that upward plane post that performance. So I've got it on top of the other Tiakau runner, but I don't think this is a 2-horse war guy at all.
Alrighty, well, we can hear from some connection, starting with Matamata Falls with Sam Burgesson. Aidan asking him about his debut win.
Maricopa Falls was fantastic there at Wellington a couple of weeks ago now. Obviously she had to beat Dad's filly there, who had the race day form, and she was coming in off one trial, so to do what she did was a really good effort. A fantastic constitution. She seems to be really loving the racing lifestyle and hasn't missed a beat. She stayed down at Dad's following the run, and he's really pleased with her, so he took her to Foxton there on Tuesday morning with young Cooper. And she worked really well, and he thinks she'll be another really nice chance there on Saturday. We're sort of on the same path that we did with Dream of the Moon last year, so she stayed down at our Christchurch base following that run over Cup Week, where she was really good, had a bit of a freshen up. We've taken her to Ashburton to gallop with Andy Carson's filly, and really nice work, and she had a nice hit out on the galloping grass there on Tuesday morning at Riccarton, so she travels up to Dad's on tomorrow morning, and she'll just have a really quiet day there on Friday, and then on to Trentham. So she's another one that's got a great constitution, really good doing filly, and loves the racing, and really seems to thrive off the work.
Good. Obviously didn't cop that track. We ran 4th down there at Wellington. It was very testing that day. There's rain around, but hopefully it stays on the better side of the heavy. But he's worked really well. Put him in company on the grass with Navigator yesterday. It's a pretty good yardstick, and he kept up with him comfortably. So look, he's still got improvement in him in terms of his just probably ring craft. But saying that, I think he's got upside and doesn't look like the strongest addition of the race. So if he can run up to his best, he should be a chance to be in thereabouts.
Work with Navigator. Wow, Landlock, terrible by Merchant Navy. That'll put it right in the mix if it can live up to that sort of form. Look, I was super impressed with Maricopa Falls. I thought it was a superb performance. So if it goes on the path I expect it to, with its demeanour and sort of making shape, I think it's going to be pretty tough to beat on a Saturday for Tiakau and Royden Burgesson, sub-trainer for the team.
I'm with you as well, Bevan. Look, when she had her first start, she's come home the last 600. I don't know if it's correct, but 32.2 seconds for last 600 having your first start. She's the one they all have to beat this week.
Yep, tend to agree, lads. Just really impressive with that debut win. She just looks to have a lot of upside around her, so I'm keen to be on board as well.
All right, we can move on to the Eulogy Stakes, the Lawnmaster Eulogy Stakes, the 5th on the card. Let's have a look at the market here. Iden Life, your $3.90 favourite, like a Lucy and Makaluso. There at $6, Ocean Miss $8, and Canelo $8.50. The rest there at double figures as we move on down the page to see renovations there at $27. Sweens, if we come to you for the Group 3 and look at the favourite here.
Yeah, the last start performance was really good at Otiki. Just had to come through and was left in front a long way from home. Was shot down by a beautiful horse for Sean Ritchie. I think that horse has got a ton of ability, just seeing it physically. So it has the right form on the board. The run prior to this was outstanding. Gate's going to be a little bit niggly, drawn out there in 11, but I think they'll be pretty positive with this horse, Leith, and you can't knock anything this horse has done in its last 2 starts.
No, certainly, and I was at Ellerslie this morning, and Tuxedo had a gallop on the course proper with no race, and he's a proper horse, don't worry about that. And look, the worst thing about Idle Life, she just over-raced a little bit at that big sort of roomy track at Otaki, and she's got left there a little bit soon, Sam. Look, I know Sam Weverly's having his first ride on the horse, but from that barrier 11, if he can sort of just get some cover and she can relax, I'm certainly that she's got the best turn of foot in the race.
Yeah, there was, a couple of lengths between them, and then a little bit more to vanish in sixth place. So on that, I think Island Life is the one that, 3 starts so far, hasn't finished worse than second, still in progress, and it's hard to really get, even the 3-year-old crop, I haven't seen a standout. There's no like Crocetti where we were last year, so it's a very even crop with no real standouts at the moment. Next one we're going to have a look at here is this horse, and like a Lucy, last start second, again in the same boat as Island Life, yet to finish worse than second. Wingman's a handy horse, the horse who wins this, and the debut win on a rain-affected track at New Plymouth had merit as well. So it's just a hard race, Leith, and these are the type of performances that could be a springboard to success here.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a bit of scope about her as well. Look, she was only having a second race day start, and look, she's had the experience getting around Trentham. She handled it well. She got the just went down that tight finish as well. So you'd think the step up to the mile is really going to suit her, and Craig Grill gets on barrier 4. She can posse up in a nice handy position as well.
Love this filly. This might be your Oaks filly. She's got a lot about her. She's got a massive amount of upside. I thought she was really good at Trentham. Wingman was fantastic, and he might even get a slot in the Kiwi Wingman with a bit more experience. But I thought she showed everything I expected of her that day. I thought she was willing. I thought she's got a decent turn of foot. Love the fact that she's up to 1,600 metres. I think she's a massive danger in this race, as is Macaluso, who couldn't believe you actually got $6-7 about Macaluso coming out of the form lines it did have. Lily was aboard this day, and it just rounded this field up quite nicely in the end. Not an overly big field, and was probably positioned to win the race, but had to do the job and got across the top of them really nicely. And when they come out of this stable by Savabeel, Leith, they tend to go on that upward profile, and there's more in store for Macaluso.
Yeah, look, she was really good, and obviously the experience around Trentham's a big plus as well. She's not overly big, but she's tough. Savabeel, you think the extra distance to a mile is really going to suit her, and Michael McNabb on from a handy gate and barrier 6. She can probably be, 3 pegs back, and you know that she's going to enjoy the big roomy track there at Wellington for sure.
She's been to Wellington twice now, to Trentham for a placing in a Wellesley and that win, and now steps up to a Eulogy Stakes. It does look within her capabilities. She should be sharper for that last start performance, and yeah, she's definitely a contender as well, Guy.
That leads us into our connections, and Aidan started by catching up with Joe Walker from the Forsman Racing Barn, talking about Macaluso.
Yep, Macaluso won very well at Trentham last time. She'll have to step up, obviously, but I think she's going really well. Transaction, looked the one the other day and got nabbed late, and I think if the rain does come, she comes into it as well.
Yeah, she's really good. I thought her run at Otaki was good. She's sort of surprised us a bit how she's sort of stepped up so quickly in her 3 starts. Like off her Tiara debut, you sort of thought it would never be where we were, but she picked up some valuable black type and another really good chance on Saturday. So she's got that good positive racing style as well, and done really well since that last run. So hopefully some more black type.
Look, her working on Chestermore was very encouraging. Look, her run the other day, I think, it was sort of, was a slow pace, and she went forward sort of mid-race, and, she got a little bit tired the last bit, but certainly she deserves her chance down there.
Good. obviously probably looking at her run down there at Wanganui doesn't look like the best run on paper, but she was 2 months between runs. She'd pulled a muscle the previous start, and we had a few setbacks, and I was really happy with the run she got back, quickened up nicely, and then just came to the end of it naturally, as you'd expect. But working like a filly that wants to get over a mile out of a Zabeel mare, I think, it'll be a fork in the road. She'll either want the mile and further, or she'll be out in the paddock and for those shorter trips.
Just have to mention Canelo at $8.50. Has the best form lines in this race. Caught wide at Wanganui. No luck from wide draw. Gets the ace on Saturday. $8.50. Seems crazy. I'm going to go Like a Lucy, though, as a really progressive horse, Roy Patterson. Really like this filly as a real upside into the remainder of the season. I think she can perform at 1,600 metres. She's a little bit new, but I still think she can run a race at around about $6.
Yeah, extremely sort of even field number of chances, even like a horse like Sky Max, it was only beaten 5.5 to Capture by Love, barrier 5. So, look, I think Island Life, if she just gets that right run, don't know where Sam's going to end up from barrier 11, but if he can sort of just get that one-off spot somewhere midfield or a little bit behind, if she relaxes better than she did last start, I think she'll be winning on Saturday.
Yeah, the barrier is definitely a concern with her, but in a really even race. She's coming out of a Group 3 second placing last time out, when the nearest horse to her in that same race was a couple of lengths behind. So for me, it's Island Life, but I agree with Leith, that barrier draw I think it really does dilute your confidence.
7th on the program is the Humphreys Construction Manawatu Cup. We can take a look at the market. The underbelly, the current favourite there at $5.50. Whangehu at $6. Islington Lass, Orlov and Wolfgang all at $7.50. Cognito and the others in single figures. Sacred Pearl and Donnybrook there at $35. Sweens, as we come to you, first up looking at Whangehu.
Yeah, and in the under, actually all of those horses highlighted are right in the mix here, and I think the Wellington Cup this season is going to be a cracker, actually. I think there's a lot of nice stars coming through. The underbelly was a racetracker for me out of this because he was above himself, he needed the run. Whangehu gets a lovely split down towards the inside. I thought Orlov was home for a couple of bounds. Testify Me out wide was okay up at Te Rapa, but I don't know, Lethal, you put those colours on at the moment and all they seem to do is win. The O'Learys are flying with their horses.
Yeah, they certainly are. Look, you see, they've had about 4 winners in the last couple of weeks. Calico, the ladies' man, and look, it was a really good ride this day as well. Got all the breaks through the middle, and good to see Lily sitting with the ship too. Orlov was a really good run out of the race as well. He had to make a little bit of more ground. He had to come wide, and I know David Howe sort of set him for this race as well.
Yeah, it's that type of race, isn't it? And that's the key CD form lead-up, or one of them anyhow, let's say. But yeah, like Bevan said, Testify Me, who's run third that day, has run the second quickest last 800 of the Waikato Cup. So the form's franking up okay, even though Testify Me probably wasn't given the best chance last Saturday. So we look at the form further north. Cognito's going really well. Places in this Counties Cup, no compromise with the big weight. Big weight again, and no relief. That's going to make that a little bit harder. But Cognito seems to be going the right way. This is obviously a key test for him heading into the Ellerslie Carnival, whether he can sort of stack this form up again. And I'm not too sure, Leith, how does the Counties Cup form relate to the Manawatu Cup?
I think it's good, A-Rod. Look, he was really well. He was sort of, there was a question mark going into that race. Like, all his previous runs have been over 1,400 to a mile. He stepped up to the 2,100 metres, and I thought he went really well. Billy Pinsticks on this week, 53 kilos. The big roomy track at Wellington, they'll ride him sort of just off the speed like he does. His racing pattern is to just drop back, and I thought he's a great winning chance this week.
I love Canigo. He's a really tough type of horse. I think he's right in the mix. I think he's going exceptionally well. I think if he gets the right cover and sit in a race that should give him that opportunity, I think he is right in the mix. This is the Smoky. This might be the best star in Central Districts with a bit more time, and he's had a bit of a held-up preparation, and you might want to put a little bit on in the Wellington Cup at 21s before this race gets underway. This is Chevelle de Fudre at 1,600 metres. He was the winner at 2,100 metres prior to that. Look, the track was very firm from this day. I think there's a bit more sting out of it. I didn't expect him to get anywhere near them over the mile, and he's flowing. We all remember that performance at Trentham back through the last carnival where he came from last, threaded through them, exploded past them. It's hard to know exactly where his preparation's been at because I thought we would have seen him a little bit more regularly, but he's been lined up and scratched. I did see a little pad under his foot when we were at Tauharanika. Maybe he's had a foot issue, but my word, he can stay, and he's a really exciting stayer. And if he emerges on Saturday, that $21 in the Wellington Cup is gone.
Yeah, look, there's a bit to like about the horse. Mark Olligan trains him now, previously trained by Jeff Linz, and he's always showing something, this horse, and look, he's doing things a bit better now. He obviously used to over-race a little bit, and like you said, Bevan, I'm happy to have a little bit on him at those 21s in the Wellington Cup because there is a good race in this horse.
Yep, nice horse, and he's emerging. Drops 6 kilograms out of that rating 75 last time out. So, yeah, definitely a lightweight chance.
We all love a smoky. Alrighty, we can hear from some connections, starting with Sean Mackay. And Aidan asked him about both his runners, his and his dad's, Peter's runners in this race.
Yeah, they're coming up very well. It's good, no compromises in the race, and it really drops them down to lightweight. And their work this morning was both even, so it's going to be a good race for them.
What was that work? Did they work in company?
Yeah, they just trotted back on the grass and went post to post on the grass, and their fitness as well. And the 2300 is suited for both of them.
Yeah, really good. I thought the run in the Counties Cup was good, first time over ground, so should naturally take good improvement from that. We initially thought that the Manawatu Cup was going to be the weaker option, and it's actually come up very strong. So, look, he deserves his chance. He's trained on well. We took him to Tiara in between times. He had a bit of an exhibition gallop there, followed Skeworth around, and it was really strong work, and his work was also good here Tuesday morning as well. So he goes in a fit, happy horse, and hopefully, you know, he's a stakes winner down there at Wellington. The big track we think really suits him.
Look, I'm going to go with Cheval de Foudre. Been following him throughout. He's at a big price in the Wellington Cup. He's actually at a big price on Saturday, and I'm more than happy to shop quite a bit of that and say that he is a very exciting star. I do expect the underbelly to improve out of sight and really come into contention as well.
Yeah, I'm tossing up. There's a pretty strong case for about 3 or 4. Islington Lash, he ran the fastest 200 metre sectionals last start. Michael McNabb's got a great record on her, but I've just gone for Cognito at the 53 kilos with Billy Pinon. It's a tough race, but I'll just go for him each way, 9s and 3s.
I'm going into the last Leith, like you say, really good last time out. It's only been once past 1,600 metres. It was unplaced that day, but you just got to put your faith in Alan Sharrock. We saw that with Ladies Man at the venue only a matter of weeks ago. We know she handles an off-track and she just looks prime for this. I love Islington Lass in this race. I think she wins the Manawatu Cup.
Well, plenty to look forward to for everyone on that Trentham card, and plenty to look forward to for you on Saturday as well. Bonus back, of course, for 2nd and 3rd in selected races from Trentham, Pakenham and Randwick. Check your account as always for those. Alrighty, time for our race trackers here on the form. Leith, we're going to come to you first. Who have you looked at?
Yeah, look, a horse could Willie do it. I know Aidan Rodley's got a small little hair in him, but look, this was a strong 3-year-old sort of maiden race, Twilight meeting last Thursday, and look, his sectionals through the race, he's run the fastest 800, 600, 400 and 2, and I think there was a little bit left in the tank as well, and there's a nice 3-year-old set weights and penalties race on the 1st of January at Ellerslie, and I think he could be sort of a really good sort of derby horse. I know he's about the 2nd favourite, but there's plenty to like about this Sunbite Tarzino.
Oh, you're singing all the right tunes today, Leith. Loving what you're saying. It's actually half a hair I've got on him, but so exciting to have a share in a derby favourite or co-derby favourite. Risco Ruler was massive last week at Te Rapa. That's Yaldi, who's a high-class 3-year-old. He's running down, and he did it in the manner of a super horse. Just love that he's lightly tried and with so much upside, Bevan.
Yeah, you two are on the same song sheet as well. We'll see that with the best bet, so best of luck to connections there. The Liquidator really unlucky here, was held up. This was its debut. Lily got back on the inside and he just never saw daylight. It was a bit of a nightmare watch if you'd plunged him into short prices. He'll be winning at short notice. I think he'll go to a maiden midweek sort of race and they won't see which way that horse goes.
I'm a late call-up for Pip, but here is who she was with, Manawatu, who ran second in the Open 2100 at Trentham in the weekend. Just missed coming down here. The outside just missed, beaten by Opawa Jack. It was a very, very good run for second, so I'm not surprised that she has put that in for her race tracker. Here is the summary of those race trackers. Leith with Willie Do It, Aiden Risque Ruler, Bevan the Liquidator, and Pip Manawatu. We've also got the Matamata Cup to look forward to over the next couple of days. That's run on Friday. Aiden, we can come to you for a little bit of a track and weather update there at Matamata.
We got out there to track work on Wednesday morning, and they were telling us just how much it had improved. It was, they reckon, probably a heavy track over the weekend. It'd come back to a soft track. There is a little bit of rain in the forecast. We just hope that stays away, but currently a soft 5, and obviously this was the Matamata Cup. It was meant to be run earlier on, but with the Group 1 Arrowfield stud plate being moved to Matamata, they've just switched the Matamata Cup. It's a big day in the town.
It certainly is. Let's take a look at the market for the listed Matamata Cup over the mile. Mary Shan, the $2.30 favourite. Midnight Blue, $5. Tap Attack, $5.50. Marley Ston there at $6.50. My Lips Are Sealed, the other one, at single figures. The rest there at double figures. I think we can come to you first, Aiden, and look at some form, particularly around the favourite.
Yeah, have a look at Mary Shan, and she's on the up. She's had 2 runs back. They've both been, well, certainly pass mark runs, but now she steps to 1,600 metres. She'll be in a sweet spot. We know her class, Leith, and I just think she'll be ready to fire in this, especially from a lovely draw.
Yeah, she's got the perfect draw, and like the best thing about her in this race at Pokakohe was her work past the post. She's a high-class mare who's been looking to run a mile. She gets muscle on, 53 kilos. The opening price is gone. She was $4.60. She's a bit short now at $2.30 though.
Yeah, too short at $2.30, but yeah, you're sitting pretty at $4.60. I've loved the first 2 runs. Remembering back through her earlier preparations, she's high quality. She does run into a bit of trouble, but I think she can avoid that on Saturday, and if she gets the right one, I think she'll be winning. Midnight Blue comes in with some decent sort of form recommend. Didn't mind this particular effort after being left out in front a long way from home. Not saying that's a terrible thing to be at Ellerslie, but I just think Leith Mary Shan's probably got this horse's measure.
Certainly, definitely at the weights as well. It was a good sort of run. He's a big sort of horse. Home track's going to suit him. But you just, look, the 57.5 kilos, he's probably well weighted. He is a class horse. He's won in 3 different states now. So you'd have to have him on your ticket, especially the Matamata Cup home track horse. But I just like Mary Shan at 53 for sure.
Yeah, he's a Perth Cup winner, so he's won over 3,200 metres. He was a Seymour Cup winner resuming this preparation. And that run at Ellerslie last time out under set weights and penalties, very good. He's only up 2.5 kilograms into this race, so yeah, you've got to have real respect around him.
Well, Midnight Blue is the first horse that we can hear from. Aiden caught up, the first horse that we can talk about. Aiden caught up with Sam Burgesson to talk about him.
Yeah, he's really good. He seems to be really enjoying the New Zealand lifestyle over here. I thought his run at Ellerslie was really good. Pity they got the rain on the day. He really needs a sort of a rock hard deck. And it was actually, funnily enough, his first run or trial right-handed. So he sort of loomed up to win, and he gave a great sight. He sort of just battled that last little bit, but he'll take great improvement from it. He seems to have come on from the run, and looking forward to seeing him step out at his new home track. His work's been good here on the course proper, and he should give a great sight. Yeah, she's in great form this season. We were steering her towards that Wanganui Cup, just had a little bit of a foot problem just leading into the run, so we scratched and give her a quiet trial on her home track over back to the mile. We think you know, a really nice race for her, nice soft gate. You know, the lightweight as well really suits. So yeah, really good chance to pick up some more black type with her. We think she's going well and looks a nice chance.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, she's drawn well. I think she's got a bit of class. She stepped up in good company last time. So we're hoping she'll run well. I see she came up favourite yesterday, but the draw will help.
Yeah, he's come through it really well. He had a quiet week when he came back from Trentham, just did a week in the pool type of thing. He worked yesterday on the course proper, over 1100 metres. Sam rode him, and he's really going really well.
Yeah, ran a super race at Otaki. I think he's got his mojo back. Really happy with him. He's come on in leaps and bounds, and really good to see him with his confidence back. And he was actually heading south for the Manawatu Cup, but when the weights came out, it's just so good to see him with a bit of weight relief. So we'll have a go on our home track.
It wasn't a bad effort actually. She had 59.5 and we drew the outside, so we eased her back and she ran on okay, yeah.
But she's come through it to your satisfaction though?
Yeah, definitely. She's just taken a long time to come up because she's been off the scene really for 2 years, so yeah, I'm happy with her now.
He just had his final bit of work now. He's taken a few runs to sort of get going. Looks better placed in a race like this, but draw no help. But yeah, I think he'll run an improved race.
It's an interesting race. I think the best lead up into it came from Marliston in the Group 1. Was desperately unlucky from a long way back in the TAB Classic last time out. With any sort of clear run, I think he would have placed in that. He stays at 59 kilograms, but rather than be up against other horses at that sort of weight, underweight for age condition, now hits handicapped where he does have to give away weights, but geez, on that last start run, no problems with the draw. He'll go back anyhow. Marliston's, I think, a winning chance in the Matamata Cup. Leith, who'd you have?
Yeah, you're correct there. He's been unlucky. He's got to make his own luck sooner rather than later. I'm just on Mary Shan. I think the pull, the 6 kilos off Melistron, the inside jaw, it's going to be a nice firm track. She's due a winning turn, and I think it's going to be this Friday.
I'm with you, Leith, and I think the relevant factor here is the market. To close a horse 460 to 230 in a race like this, when you know it's not a big syndicate owning it, it's smart money that has come for this horse. Now, that is a massive movement when you look at the market. A horse like Harlex, 14 to 27. There's massive drifts on many of the other runners all around the money on Mary Shan, so it's smart money. I'm with it. I'm not shopping 230. I think you can watch it go round, and I think Meliston's better value, but I'm with Mary Shan, Guy, as the top selection.
Good on you, Bevan. Thank you. An 8-race card there at Matamata, and as always, we've got a little treat for you, and that is, of course, bonus back in bonus cash for second and third on selected races there at Matamata on Friday.
But Snazzy Tabby's coming after her strongly. Campionessa, Snazzy Tabby, they draw clear as everyone expected. Bella Waters in behind them with Io Sassbomb, but away she goes, Snazzy Tabby.
Here's Fats coming after him. Moss Raj fighting on. The leader, Mr. Twiggletoes. Moss Raj, Fats, wide around Zachary late. Mr. Twiggletoes. Fats is leaving it late. He's charging home right on the line. Fats.
Couple of winners there. I think we can do a little bit better than that this week. Leith, we're coming to you first. Who have you got?
Yeah, hopefully I go better. Look, I'm going to take you to Matamata Friday. Bourbon Proof, Barrier 1, back into a maiden class. A little bit short, $2.15, but he should be winning this race. This is checkmate. Any Kaka. Look, he doesn't have to be on his best game to be winning on Friday.
Yeah, I've joined the bandwagon with you, Leith, there. Really taken by what we saw last time out. That was in good company, group company, drops back into maiden company. And the beauty about what we saw was Hinikaha's a good horse, and she came up to go past him. He kicked really nicely. I think he's potentially a Derby horse, and I think in a maiden race on a Friday at Matamata, I think he's awfully hard to beat. Bevan, we've gone together, Leith and I'm just picking you going separate.
We've been here before, boys. We have been here before. We'll see how that unfolds. I'm going to stick with the ship as well. Lokanora is a really good mare. She delivered nicely last time. Remember her performance in a mile, similar sort of race through the carnival last time. I think she's got black top in her future, and she'll be really tough to beat in the last on the program at Trentham on race 8.
Righty, well, here is the summary of the best bets for the week. Leith and Aidan both with Bourbon Proof, as you heard. Pip, this is probably good because I quite like this horse. Chiaha there at Matamata in the last. Tomorrow on Friday there at Matamata. Gold Star Hogan for Rozzo. The Whale is with My Surfer Girl. And Bevan, as you heard, with Lochinora at Trentham on Saturday. Alrighty, that wraps it up for the form this week. Thank you, lads, for joining us. Let's hope those best bets come home and everyone has a good old fill up this weekend. We'll see you next week on the form.